Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is the Dota Pit League Season 3. We've got a Group A matchup for the Centuries. Cloud9 versus Ninjas in Pajamas. If you guys missed that first game, you missed a doozy. It was one of the best Dota games I've seen in a long time. And in Dota Pit, we've already had so many of them. So many good games on tap. And of course, today, well, our last game of the day. Cloud9 taking that victory barely over Ninjas in Pajamas. Unfortunately, oblivious to the fact that their throne was dying. Too busy fighting Cloud9 in the middle lane. And Cloud9 getting the better of Ninja's Pajamas, taking that first game. With that being said, we're here. We're in the draft for game number 2. No heroes picked yet, but that'll change quickly. Again, as always, HighGroundTV bringing you the action, the production as well. I'm joined by Motpaxer Satsman, Pimp Muckler Production Manager, and Tralf. How are you, man?
Doing good. Yeah, it was a pretty fun game to watch. Lots of back and forth, lots of action, lots of interesting plays, which keeps it fresh and fun to watch. But in the end, Cloud9 do come out on top with a very strong mid-game draft, mid to late game draft, I would say. It took some time for the Juggernaut to come online, but he came online very strong and very quickly, in the mid to late game. With that butterfly purchase towards the end. And then, yeah, like I talked about, the Omni Knight, having that GA was very effective, and yada yada yada. Anyway, Cloud9 won. Ninjas in Pajamas, their base was in peril, but this game they pick up a Troll Warlord first, which is interesting to me. I believe I wasn't 8 Mother playing that for them before. I'm interested to see if Limp is playing that, basically, is what I'm saying. So Cloud9, they respond with a Lion Shadow Fiend. Nothing too crazy here, but yeah, I'm interested to see Ninjas in Pajamas run this Troll.
Yeah, I think it could. I'm not sure if it's if 8 Mother or Arrow were playing it, but I think it's always a good choice. I think Limp has played in the past for. Actually, he was offlane for Complexity, wasn't he? I'm not sure what he was when the roster was breaking apart, but I am interested as well. Cloud9 go for the Lion Shadow Fiend again. I guess if it ain't broke, why fix it at this point? I mean,
yeah.
Shadow Fiend really dominated that mid lane and pretty much the entire game for a long time, played by Fotza. He had some really solid plays. Misery had some very good hexes for Lion. His finger was kind of useless later on in the game because everyone was so tanky that finger did barely any damage, but he did do a lot of work with Earthspike. He canceled a TP or 2 of Arrow, which probably could have secured them a Rax or something had Arrow gotten that TP off, or at least secured them a team fight. So that was really smartly played. NiP go for another hero they picked up in the last game with the Dazzle. So more of the same coming out for both of these squads. And I guess if you're comfortable with heroes, why change anything? So.
Yeah, one thing I didn't really mention too much last game is how effective Lion is in general against Bristleback for a number of reasons. One, the mana burn or the mana drain is really good against him. I would say in the mid to or early to mid game because he just has no mana to work with, which means he doesn't do damage, which means his ulti isn't proccing or isn't stacking, I should say. And then of course like I mentioned briefly that the Lion's Hex turns off the Bristleback. It's one of the few things that actually cancels it. And so that's obviously really effective in keeping him down and keeping him not as tanky against heroes like Shadow Fiend and Juggernaut. So. And I think the biggest thing here from NiP is that they banned out this Bat Rider. They actually banned out 2 of Cloud9's heroes last time, which was Bat and Juggernaut. Juggernaut, I guess somewhat a comfort ban or comfort hero for Cloud9, but the Bat Rider really, to me, was like the biggest problem for NiP because they had the best way they could cancel it was with a Fisher, or we saw once with the Blink Yules, but assuming that he had the Repel on, you wouldn't have been able to do that anyway. And we saw multiple times of double lasso into the fountain, or at least close to the fountain, and that was just detrimental. Too difficult for NiP to deal with.
I gotta say, too, when he got the Refresh Orb on the Bat Rider, he took over that game. We saw Arrow get pushed into the wall twice, and with that, I guess that does give room for NiP to go for the Raxes, but even then, you're missing your biggest hero. You're missing your Assault Cross Aura, you're missing a lot of the damage that you're getting. So I really think that Bone7, as he always does, I don't know why this is a surprise or a shock to us, but he takes over the game as Bat Rider. It's him. That is his hero. If you look at Bone7, I'm sure somebody could Photoshop him on a bat. That would be pretty accurate representation of how people feel about the guy. So he did a very solid job, but now he'll have to go for another offlaner. And it won't be Axe because Cloud9, actually, no, it will be. It could be Axe because Cloud9 do grab it. We'll see if they do give it to Bone7. And more than likely, that's probably the case. I don't think Envy plays the Axe in this situation. I don't think it's a 4-position Axe either. So more than likely, probably a Bone7 Axe, maybe paired up with another hero, maybe just give it the offlane in general. We'll see what they decide to do with the Axe pick.
I've seen actually Fata play Axe, but since Shadow Fiend's picked, I would agree with you. I'd expect to see Axe in the hands of Bone7. So We'll see. Bristleback's actually banned out. There's Queen of Pain for Cloud9. Maybe taking a page out of the secret handbook and running that in the safe lane. Could also run the safe lane Shadow Fiend, but I think safe lane Quap is just a bit better. Just because of how strong Shadow Fiend is in the mid lane. Not to say that Quap isn't. With Shadow Fiend being able to go mid and do stacks at the same time, makes him one of the best mid laners in the game. So Quap for Cloud9. They need one more hero, and it's going to be a support most likely, unless they want to do some kind of weird jungle axe thing. But Ninjas in Pajamas, I didn't see this, but they pick up the Clockwork. So there's their offlane hero. And lots of red heroes, it would seem.
Yeah.
Lion, Shadow Fiend, Axe, Troll Warlord.
Dazzle's like pink or purplish, but you know, whatever. Same thing. It's the same hue. That's all you have to do, guys. If you're an amateur drafter and somebody that plays a lot of CM, just pick red heroes. You're gonna win the game. I can't
purple.
think of it. Yeah, don't pick purple. Don't pick blue. Although Storm is a good hero. Just pick straight red. No green, especially. Screw those green heroes. They're terrible.
Oh man, Treant is like my favorite hero.
I'm sorry, man.
You gonna do that to me?
Yeah. Listen, if he was colored red, if it was a red tree, I'd be totally fine with it. But it's just how it goes. And Ninjas in Pajamas, they do pick up the Clockwork, like you mentioned. Very good offlaner for Jonas and Fan. He'll probably play it. And they have another pick here. A lot of reserve time being dwindled down. We'll see what they want to go for. They need a support and I think a mid/safe laner. We'll see where they want to send this Troll Warlord. That's the biggest thing. What do you think about the Troll Shadow Fiend matchup in mid?
I think, okay, I actually had this with Samel because we practiced this in 1v1. I would say after the changes for Shadow Fiend, it's going to be a disrupt pickup here for NiP. I would say after the raise changes for Shadow Fiend, it's very even of a matchup. He thinks Shadow Fiend wins. I think Troll Warlord actually has the potential to win if you're a very good Troll player. And I think he can easily kill Shadow Fiend just because his damage... If he gets a bash, if he throws his Whirling Axe, he attacks him a couple times, runs in with the melee form, then Whirling Axes for extra damage and bashes. I think it's an easy kill in most situations, if Shadow Fiend has already taken some damage. But again, it's a very even matchup. But I don't know if a Troll is going to be mid, though, just because we've seen other heroes that really want to shut down the Shadow Fiend mid. So last game we saw a Zeus, which actually didn't do very well. Limp just got really far behind on CS. Despite being 4-1 and 4 at one point, he was very low in the net worth chart. So we'll have to see where they want to go for mid this time. And the sniper ban again. Yeah,
that's Cloud9 go for that last ban sniper, and for good reasons. Too strong. We talked about Viper as well to a certain. I think that hero is still very strong, and I think they could go for that. I'm not sure how it pairs up with their draft, but that's always a possibility in trying to shut down the Shadow Fiend. There are other heroes as well. They do have very little time in both regular and reserve time for Ninjas in Pajamas with this ban. They'll ban out the Earthshaker, Cloud9 with their last pickup, more than likely support. Unless, like you said, it's some crazy Axe jungle shenanigans, 4-position Axe. Who the hell knows? There's always that possibility, I guess, especially with the Cloud9 draft. But I don't think that's the case. What other supports are available? Is Venge available? Absolutely. Venge is 100% available. Skywrath is available if you want to go for that, too.
Yeah,
supports.
Venge and Lion is a weird pairing. Like, they're both relatively... I guess Lion isn't that low of range, but he has no damage. Like, he's got lots of control, but he's got no damage. And Venge doesn't really have damage either. So that's kind of an awkward pairing. So, they banned out the Earthshaker, which is just an overall phenomenal support in almost any lineup. And so that could have been good for them. Cloud9 taking some time thinking about it, so maybe that's what they wanted. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of different options. You got to see what's good. What's going to be good against NiP's lineup. They actually go for an Enigma. Okay, that's going to be tons of farm for Cloud9 if they get an uncontested free farming Enigma.
This seems like yeah, exactly. That's true. So I think you have to prioritize maybe getting spores to shut down the jungle. But then this probably answers the question. This is more than likely a mid lane Lina coming out for Ninjas in Pajamas, which you can shut down the Shadow Fiend, and she has a very good time in the early to mid game, which we've talked about, but. You get later on, it was a lot like what we saw yesterday with Virtus Pro and Jeep playing it, where he did so well early game and mid game, but then late game or later game came, and they kind of got crushed in every single fight after that. Lena's just a squishy hero and doesn't scale that well in the late game, kind of. I don't know. I'm torn about this pick. I'm not sure how you feel about it.
It seems very scary if they get behind for NiP. Like, Troll. Here's the problem about Troll Warlord, and I really love this Enigma pickup, is that most of the time Troll is going to be going into melee form. I would say 80% of the time in the game, he's in melee form. The only time he wants ranged form is when he gets that last auto attack on someone that's out of range, or he wants to slow them down. But other than that, he's always in melee form. And Enigma's really good against melee heroes, like that, especially that are melee DPSers that just want to rush in and do their damage. Because even if with BKB, you can still black hole him, and it's like I don't know. You have to always have that in the back of your mind and worries. You have to be worried about that. So if he gets shut down or if he can't fight, who's going to? It's a very thin lineup for NiP. They have tons of damage, I will say that, and they have somewhat decent control with the Disruptor, but I feel like Cloud9 is just going to out-farm them with this Enigma. Like I said, if he doesn't get his camps blocked with wards, we'll have to see. I see Steel Kid running up here. He's got 2 wards on him, but there's only him and the Clockwork right now. But yeah, if he gets an uncontested jungle, I'm really scared Cloud9's just going to totally out-farm NiP.
That's the case with Enigma and just any jungling hero. When you're against a team that doesn't go for that jungling support, Cloud9 get that last pick Enigma. That's a lot of bang for their buck. Also, you talked about damage coming from NiP, and Cloud9 have the same. Not only do they have damage, but they have really good control and damage to go through BKB. You have Black Hole, like you already talked about. Berserker's Call. Sonic Wave goes through BKB. So, Troll, who's, I feel like, EE, what are you doing? But I don't know about this. He will skill Blink. He'll blink up. That is a pretty long-range ability. And actually, Glimpse is finally skilled for Hanske, but it's a bit too late. That was ballsy as all hell. He scouts them out. He knows that they're at the top rune spot. Oh, okay. Envy.
That was scary. Like, imagine he gets cogged, like, and pushed forward into an LSA, and then just blow. Whew, I don't know. That could have been bad, but it does get some useful information at the very least. Ooh, NiP gets both bounties. So that's it,
folks. I wonder. So at some point in time, Dota is going to have a stat for teams that getting both bounties winning the game, because I want to know the win percentage of that. I'm sure it's probably there's no actual correlation, but still, it would be nice to know.
Yeah, I mean, it is a huge boost. It's essentially, if you get both of them, 1 full level, because you get 100 experience on both heroes. Imagine what if you did, like, one hero got 1 bounty, and then they protected it for that same hero, and he just hits level 2 from the get-go.
Oh my god, that's some next level theory crafting. That's making me, like, vomit at this point. It's just disgusting, dude. Jesus.
Mind blown.
Seriously, God. Please don't do that if you're in a Dota game with me. EE in the top lane. He is against a dual lane. He has no supports currently. Again, he has the jungling, and then Misery was sitting mid to help out Fata for a small period of time, and then he roams up top lane. But they do have a small CS lead early on in the game, and suddenly, somehow Fata, despite being up against Limp, he's got 4 last hits. He does have his 1 level of Necromancer now as he went for Raze first. Bone7 in the offlane, going for the Stout Shield, Ring of Protection. Will glimpse him back. Hanskid says, get out of here. It's a pretty long cooldown, though. I think Bone7 can maybe run at him. Decides against it.
I think this is a big mistake for Hanskin trying to pull instead of just zoning out Bone7. Imagine if instead of pulling, if he just sat in the lane auto-attacking with Era, and then since they're both essentially ranged heroes, Bone7 can't walk up to the creep wave. Now he's already got 5 CS, he's level 2.5, almost level 3 after kind of leeching some experience here. I think it was a big mistake by Hanskin, actually.
And at some point, Bone7 can start running at them a bit heavier, although Era does do a lot of damage. And he has a Stout Shield Ring of Protection coming up for Bone7, so he's very tanky to deal with. 5 armor. No Berserker's Call. Bone7 cancels the animation, does finally use that Battle Hunger. Will he dive? No.
Level 2 Battle Hunger, too, by the way. He didn't level up his Counter Helix or his Berserker's Call.
Working out for him. He's doing a lot of damage to Hanskin. And Hanskin has to burn through all of his... I think he might have had Tangos. And he only has a salve left now, so...
He will hit level 2. Bone7 gets the bounty, so that's going to pump him up to about 500 gold now. So he's got enough for his boots if he wants to.
And he just jungles, too. Like, he has easy access to this Radiant jungle. And they really can't stop him. I mean, Hanskin, if he walks forward, he gets battle hungered like that. And he's just like, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Look at that damage.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He's taking 20 damage per proc, and it's just destroying him. And he's going to have to salve because of this. And Arrow being the guy that he is, he's like, you're not getting a CS. No, battle hunger is going to stay on you. Sorry, man. It's just, that's the way it goes.
Yep. And as you mentioned, up top lane, Misery behind Jonathan Fan.
Yeah, he's maybe in trouble. EE's not there. Battery Assault's going to go. Misery pushed out with the Cox. He might be in trouble. Shadow Wave actually misses. Shadow Strike goes. Misery solo. They can't get the kill. EE's pretty squishy as well. He can't really walk up. He was taking too many hits from the creeps. So nobody dying yet. Ooh, LSA mid lane. Lip on the chase. On the run, actually. Fata. He has long range available if he needs it. He might be able to get this kill. Speedy, let's see, 309 move speed for Limp, 355. Oh, but he gets hit by the LSA. The glimpse back, Fata walks back, and he says, that's fine. All right, I try to go for the kill. I push him out of lane. That's fine. And Lip does have to bottle crow. He will be back up to a decent chunk of health still, though.
Yeah, but he is he's getting outplayed once again in the mid lane. Again, this is I actually think Lina wins this matchup. This is one of the few matchups I think Lina does better than Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
But he's down a couple CS. He's actually 16-1 compared to 20-0 for Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend almost threatened him with a kill as well. So Fata doing well, doing better in the mid lane in game 2 as well.
Shadow Fiend putting on a lot of pressure. Ray's clearing up the creep wave. Fata now just pushes out the wave. He can bottle up. He might even head to the jungle. But he'd have to share with No-Tail, who's... Well, he's doing pretty well. Level 5, 4 minutes in. Probably level 6 at 5. Not bad at all. Soul Ring is done. He has money for it anyway. He can threaten top lane with a pretty big gank early on with the Black Hole. And Yonis fan is actually... Let's see. He's level 3. Bone 7 is level 4, so Bone 7's having a bit of a better time. He also has more CS. 10 CS for Bone 7, only 8 coming off the clockwork. And they're not really shutting down this Axe because they kept the Dazzle top lane. But now Steel Kid is rotating bottom. Bone 7 will spot him out. He'll throw up the Battle Hunger. Yeah, Thunderstrike, they're going to go for the Glimpse. They're going to try to go for the kill. Air's rotated in. Zerka's called misses. Not that it matters. You get some extra armor. Rolling Axes gets bashed by Arrow, and the first blood goes to the Disruptor. Pretty good rotation from Steel Kid, and good rotation from Air to get that kill.
Enigma's top actually rotated. There's some pretty decent cogs from Jonathan fan. And he bought a Soul Ring plus boots in the side shop. Trying to pressure this top tower. They do have a catapult, so it's somewhat of a timing push. There is a glyph available for NiP, but this is taking a lot of damage, and this is probably going to be a dead tower. And actually, yeah, Misery's still trying to zone out this clockwork, but...
Yeah, this should be a tier 1 tower, which is going to give them some farm. They're going to jump in. Shadow Strike, Hex, and also the Earth Spike. They have no blink left, and they can't get that kill. He's so low, though. Shadow Strike not going to take him down. Might,
I think he's going to die. I think he's
they have
going
any
to
regen?
die. He's dead. They need to kill him.
Deny. There it goes. Nice work, Hanski. He TP'd in just to make sure that Deny was secured, so at least they get that going. EE going with the patented 4 GG branches. 4 HP when he denied him. Yeah, they like to live on the edge. But it's a pretty slow tick, so I mean, unless he gets hit by something, you know, seemingly out of nowhere.
I thought he was going to miss the deny, actually, as you see with Modpack saying at 4 HP, but... Oh, putting some vision onto Eternal Envy. But with the change from the blink, you actually just get so far out of range. Because it's, what, a 1500, 1700, 1300. Sorry. That would have been ridiculous. But it's long enough to get outside of the level 2 glimpse.
Yeah, the cast range at level 2 is 1000, so not quite there. Level 3 is 1400. That's what he was looking for, so not quite enough. But that's actually... They can kill EE when Hanska gets more levels, especially when he hits that Static Storm as well. It's a lot like dealing with the Storm Spirit, but at the same time, you know, EE can still put on a lot of pressure. He can still get kills as well. He bought... What did he buy? I think he just bought boots. 900 gold. He had 4 GG branches. He sells 1. He has a circlet. A very weird item progression coming up from Manvi. He is at 29 CS. His team has the top 3 of the top 4 in terms of CS at this point. Troll has free farm down bottom. He has 40 CS. He's actually rotating in his jungle, which means that Seal Kid is getting farm in the lane currently. Not bad.
Yeah, that's good for them. Like, whenever you can get away with that, with some kind of safe lane hero that jungles effectively, you should. He should have a Quelling Blade, though, if he's going to be doing this. It speeds it up tremendously. And interestingly, because he's in the safe lane, I've seen a lot of trolls do this when they're in the safe lane. They actually just get, like, 1 point into Whirling Axes and then max out the Fervor, or the... Usually it's the Fervor, or the Berserker's Rage, but because you actually farm faster with it, with levels into that. But he doesn't have it, and he doesn't have a Quelling Blade as well, so... Just a little bit of a pet peeve. Mid lane, that's a solo kill. That is a solo kill on Lina.
That's some right click and the E raise coming out for the Shadow Fiend, getting the kill nicely for Fata. It's just, well, that's how it goes, I suppose.
Shouldn't happen, but we'll see.
Raise, double raise, glimpse back in. Fata, they did rotate a lot of heroes. Bone 7 gonna walk in, but can't get through the kinetic field, and Fata will fall. Bone 7 looking to turn around. This is the call. Now Bone 7 on the run. He's in trouble. Big Daddy No-Tail. Looking for a potential black hole. Throws them the Midnight Pulse to zone them out. Arrow walks back in. Whirling X is going to go into Misery and Big Daddy No-Tail. Bone 7 going on to Hanskin, but he's going to grab that bounty rune. A bit of an awkward fight. It's a kill for a kill as Shadow Fiend drops down. That's probably the bigger kill, as I think Air picked that one up. He did.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. I think that Fought is just dominating in the mid lane today, man. Like, solo kill, yes, Shadow Fiend's very, very strong, but I mean, you essentially pick up the Lina to win the mid lane, right? Otherwise, you would want to pick up a different hero that is a little bit, I don't know, can team fight a little bit better with your team early on with the clockwork and whatnot. I'm not sure. I think when you pick up a Lina, it's usually, especially against a Shadow Fiend, we've seen so many times. For instance, when we cast G, for example, playing the Lina, I think he was up against a Shadow Fiend as well.
Yeah, it was both games. RTZ was the Shadow Fiend, I believe, and he crushed him in both of those games. And they even had to rotate a support over, and I think it was Brokey was with RTZ for a long time, and they still couldn't get him any more than like 12 CS at like 6 to 7 minutes into the game. But that is not the case for Fata. He's crushing this matchup. It's 9 minutes, and I believe he has... Well, he only has the Sage's Mask now. He did go down. He'll raise up a couple of creeps in the middle lane. They were actually smoking a Roche, and it got scouted out by a Flare, so there's that.
Envy blinked into Seal Kid and just used his Scream of Pain, but actually took way more damage from the Dazzle, the support Dazzle, than Queen of Pain did to the Dazzle. In fact, he has to be a little bit careful because Hanskin's ready here with the level 3 Glimpse this time. If he gets the Vision, is it going to be enough? No. He wasn't close enough to actually get the Glimpse, so very, very close for that. Level 4, I assume it's 100% a kill, but... And then Era did pick up the Quelling Blade, so this will speed up his farm a lot. I think this is the right decision.
Berserker's calling a Unison fan. Are they going to be able to get this kill? Misery's nearby. He's pretty far away. That Cogs might... Oh, Bone 7 might get solo killed. Stick charges. Doesn't have level 6 for the Quelling Blade. Doesn't matter. They'll get the kill. Big hacks from Misery. Rotating in just in time. That's a bit closer than I think Bone 7 would have liked, but he'll reach it up with the Triangle Boots in. It's 3-3 at 10.5 minutes. This is not the highest octane game. No Tail will have a mech here within seconds. He is gonna just try to take down these agents on his own, but they're walking right in. They have a smoke to see it. Hanskin sees him. Glimpse is available. They don't get the vision with the Thunderstrike. He walks up to the high ground and they don't go for that kill. He didn't get that Thunderstrike off and he just didn't use it for whatever reason.
Yeah, that was a little awkward. I thought they were going to go for Roshan, actually, because they had the Wolf onto the Troll Warlord, but wanted to get the kill, and trying to walk uphill like with no vision of the actual hero when your smoke breaks is... Yeah, I guess they had a little bit of vision right there, but I don't know if they could actually see the hero of Big Daddy.
No, I don't think they could have. That doesn't give that much vision. It gives vision around Roche, but it doesn't give vision up to the high ground.
Well, Envy's transitioned in like this off-lane co-op now, and they want to really prioritize farm, I suppose, on Bone 7. But Envy doesn't really have too many items actually coming his way, despite having 51 CS, which is not bad.
It feels like he was doing fine top lane. I'm surprised they rotated out. I guess they're really prioritizing farm elsewhere, but I mean, it's not like Bone 7's top right now. They've given the lane to nobody, as Jonas defends here alone. Bone 7's mid. They might go for another smoke, and this time they might try to find a pickoff. With Mecha, they can maybe find somebody. They're going to head all the way bottom, as Envy is sitting here, still CS, which we've talked about. Seal Kid walks into Roche. He's going to ward up more than likely. I don't know. They probably saw him. Yeah, they had that ward there. Meanwhile, Envy out front. Hanskin's probably dead. Maybe.
We'll see. They don't have a blink ball initiation, so it has to just be a walk-in stun from either the Enigma or the Lion. Probably the Enigma. And he's not fast enough. Great ulti
big
from
static storm. That's big, but I think he's still dead anyways. They glimpse No Tail back, and he's like, I already got my Malphus off. That's fine. No Tail... Bone 7 gets the kill. Actually, it was Envy. He could have used his Culling Blade, but 7 held on to it, not using it. Do they go for Roche? They looked inside of Roche. They thought about it for a second. I think they were seeing if Seal Kid was still in there. They did ward up. They actually warded at the Ancient Stag. That's nice. But it's just kind of a lot of heroes walking around trying to find CS across the map and not actually any action happening.
Really nice reactions from Hanskin, though. Like, he actually played that pretty nicely. And had they walked in a different pattern or he got an instant TPs from his team, could have maybe turned it, but... Limp is catching up, I will say that. He's caught up quite nicely with CS, and he's up to 71 right now, which is actually just a little bit under the Shadow Fiend. Action onto Limp, they actually do get the Shadow Strike. Limp gets the LSA, hits Bone 7. There we go.
Ooh, Jonas fan, the backhand, he's going to get that hook shot, but he might pay for it. Yeah, the race is going to go. Mana Drain not really doing much. The big Earth Spike coming out from Misery, though, that was beautifully timed. They don't get Limp, but they get another big target. And they'll take the tier 1 tower. So it feels like Cloud9 are grouping up now. And NiP actually split push, and they get a trade. Eric is the tier 1 tower top. He still has that Alpha Wolf roaming around behind him. Alright. That's a TPing bottom. Has the Yule Scepter ready to go on. Skin's gonna back away. Actually, maybe a rotation from EE. They get another kill. I don't think they'll go on this. I think EE's just jungling.
Yep. And this Enigma is very, very fat, and they're doing the right thing, which is basically grouping up with the mechanism. And it's before really Lena gets any core items. She's very close to her Yules, which will obviously be good for her, but the fighting power of C9, even without the Blink Dagger onto the axe, is very, very strong. They think they're roshing or something, as 3 members of NiP are walking down here, but no, they're not going to do that.
I think at this point, Cloud9, they're probably getting, at least it feels like they're getting a bit more out of the map. It feels like Era's the only one farming. I'm sure that's not true, but that's what it feels like anyways. They've given Hanskid bottom. I guess Limp is in the jungle now. He's getting close to Eos. He's catching back up.
Eric can get a solo kill up here if he gets the slow and some nice bashes. Here we go.
He's going to get the slow. He's going to go for the range. Now he runs in. Berserker's Call goes, and he's going to TP no bash, but he gets the kill anyways with the rolling axes. So Era almost losing out on that kill, but you called it. And he also stole a range creep.
Wow!
Wow. All right, range creep, go do your work. I don't know what you're supposed to be doing, man, but go stack those ancients. So, yeah.
Really nice kill. That was actually huge, too, because one, it stifles the Blink Dagger from Axe. He had to have been like 50 gold away, because look at his gold right now. He had to have been so close to that Blink, and he wastes his TP. So he can't initiate somewhere else. He's got to do the Walk of Shame to a lane, because the TP will be on cooldown. Really big kill there from Era. Nicely done. And he is actually ridiculously farmed. Fata, he has a haste rune and a Yules. He should be fine. Yeah, he is very farmed as well, being the second highest.
There's mass TP rotations coming in. Static Storm, Misery, TPing out, Light Strike Array, not going to go. The Glimpse back, though. The Glimpse from Hanskin just gets the animation off. They get the double kill for Limp, as ZE had already perished in that bottom lane. And now they go for the 5-man push into the tier 1 tower. Now it's NiP's turn to group up. They, where are we going? We going to Roche? We going to tower? What are we doing here? All right, Midnight Pulse is on the ground. Era walks into Roche and says, screw this tower. I don't want it. I want Roshan. I want the Aegis. Meanwhile, Jonas fan, Battery Salt, no tail. Cogs might go here. This is going to be tough. Beck's going to go. No tail is back up and alive. Fatsa TP's in. Glimpse back. Goodbye, Fatsa. See you later. Berserker's Call misses. Bone Seven's missed a couple of those. TP finally coming in from Envy as he respawns. They don't take the tower. Sonic Wave. Goodbye, Jonas fan. EE could blink and jump in just a second. They can't take Roche. They're even going to walk right in. No tail. Era picks up an Invis rune. No tail backing away. Fatsa. They had a Sentry Ward. They saw him for a moment, then walked away. They will find Hanskin. They get Limp as well with EE getting a double kill. Hanskin about to fall. Calling Blade to get the kill. And now they're going to transition into Roshan. Buyback from Jonas fan. He doesn't have hookshot for 3. By the time he walks there, he'll be able to hook in and maybe even just... This could be huge. Jonas fan, you've got to make a play, buddy. I believe in you. Jonas fan. Not yet.
He doesn't want to go just yet. No, that Sentry is so effective right now against... Ninjas in Pajamas, and Era knows it. From some nice, quick clicking there.
Oh, look at
Bone
7. This positioning. Hookshot's going to go. He's going to jump in. He didn't get the Aegis. It was already picked up by Big Daddy. Big Cogs on to 3, but he can't get a single kill, and in the end falls. That was almost beautiful, but no tail with the presence of mind to know that, like, listen, one of us needs to pick this up immediately, and they get it done.
The thing is about those kind of plays, you see them happen all the time. When they hit it and they win it, they look like an amazing player. When they don't, they look like a complete noob. But I would say it has to be a special situation for you to actually risk your life 100% trying to get that Aegis. And this is not one of those times. Because, one, you're probably never going to get the kill with an initiation from Clockwork onto the Roshan. So you're never going to get the experience. And the Aegis doesn't really make that big of a deal right now. It's a huge deal in games where, like in a very, very late game and you have a hero that's just like hitting that tower. And you can't deal with them because they have an Aegis and you can't initiate onto them. But here, it's not a big deal, so I just don't think that play is warranted at all. They're trying to find Fata. They have a Yule's initiation, but he does too, though.
Glimpse? Is he the Yule's? Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. I barely saw him die. That's how fast he went down.
That was so freaking fast. He couldn't even Yule's himself. Maybe he got bashed instantly or something.
Why did how does the Yules plus Glimpse interaction work?
It brings you right back. It's
bring
really
you down for the Yule Scepter?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's probably why then.
The Yules is great against things like X, but against Glimpse, it just brings you right back.
Yeah, it's actually that's why Glimpse is such a good ability because it's not only that, but like Huck, Phase Shift, all that stuff, like all of those abilities you think you'd be invulnerable during. There's like you can Manta dodge it, but we've talked about this before, but the time that you can Manta dodge it is a very small window. It's very small.
Wow.
I am 90% sure I've had this discussion with like a couple of pros, and I'm 90% sure you can Manta dodge.
You can also use Puck to get out of it in certain ways too. I got called out one time because I was thinking Puck. Oh, actually, speaking of Glimpse, it's actually in the Bone 7, and he does get caught by the kinetic field.
Oh, no tail, no. Oh, that is. Oh, he's gonna get Yulesed up, and they probably are gonna kill him. Actually, he's gonna try to man fight onto Limp. I don't know if that's the best man fight. Battle Trance goes. They're still chasing after Bone 7. Era's like, please give me this kill. He will get that last right click. Meanwhile, Aegis is expended because No Tail did pick it up, but oh no, No Tail. That is unfortunate. That's all I can say about that black hole, buddy. And dying too. They both go down.
Oh lordy. Yeah, I forgot that you mentioned that he was like just trying to pick it up as quickly as possible. So I was like, what? Enigma has it. That's a Yule Scepter for the Quap. That's very interesting considering we were just talking about the interaction between Yules and Glimpse and whatnot. That's weird to me. Maybe he wants to instant Yules himself after the Lina does to get out of that combo, which is very, very strong. It will actually solo kill the Quap very easily. But if he times it, I think if you time it fast, like accurately enough, you can't even Yules out of it. You have to be very, very good with it, but I think, I could be wrong on this, but I think if you time it very perfectly, it's actually very hard to actually Yules out of that LSA combo, but we'll see.
I'd have to imagine there's only, so much time where you can press that button, and I mean, even if you're spamming it, there's still a good chance that you hit your Light Strike array if you time it perfectly. I think you're right.
That's where, like, little instances, or little... Oh, actually, hook shot onto Dark Green.
As Ree gets caught out. The Dragon Slave. Can I just say I like the fact that you called him Dark Green?
Sorry.
I'm a big fan.
I just like... It's a mini-map thing, you look more at the mini-map. Oh, bottom. Brown's interrupt. Brown's going in on purple.
Yeah, Era's getting caught out. The Berserker's Call is going to go. The right click, not really there. Bone 7 just destroys him. Sealkid's going to try to TP. Nah, I don't think so. Cloud9 with 2 strong pickups there with those kills. And I don't know if it's so much of a... I always think of a Warcraft 3 kind of thing because of like... And like an in-house thing too. Because that's what everyone calls people in in-houses. And also the fact that whatever that vomit color is called is always called gray because that was what it was called in Warcraft 3.
I mean, I hate it when people are like, that's not gray, it's olive. Or they say some other color that it's not even close.
Are you just like, all right, dude, shut up, listen. Who cares? It's not olive, it's freaking gray. Just like, that's what I would tell somebody.
No,
like,
there's some color that's like a lot of people in pubs say that may or may not be from the South American region. But they call it a different color, and it's not olive, it's not gray, it's something totally different. And they're like, it's not gray, it's X, and I forget what the color is. But I'm like, dude, it is totally not that color. Not even close. Sorry, I'm getting amped up about this, but...
no, man, that's fine. You're going on a rant.
With my colors, okay.
You're going on a rant, that's okay. No swears, though. That's,
Anyway.
Finally gets back in. Are we ready to go here in a moment? Probably. Limp reconnects to the game. We haven't checked out the net worth graph, which, by the way, Cloud9 are leading by about 5,000. They're in a pretty good spot. Experience-wise, it's even, but even with that missed black hole from No Tail, they're still okay. They have room to work with.
Yep. As we always say, it's more about the threat of a black hole than the actual black hole itself. Until you actually hit a black hole, and then it is about the black hole.
Then it's all about the black hole at that point. Limp somehow jukes everything. Screaming doesn't hit. They missed the call. He's still alive. Is he going to live? Bone 7's still on pursuit. Oh, okay. He just juked him. Barry Sanders, Limp. Oh, my. He doesn't have TP, though. That's true.
Are those godlike jukes, or is that botched initiation from C9?
I think it's botched initiation.
Because, theoretically, Envy could blink in and instant Yules, and then he can't blink away. Although I guess he could Yules and then blink himself away. But you could do that anyway, right? So, whew, that was weird to watch.
I don't know how you missed the scream and then missed the follow-up Berserker's Call. I guess the blink came out from from Limp. He somehow stays alive, and without a TP scroll, gets back to his side of the river. That probably shouldn't happen. All right, well, they didn't have vision over there, so I guess that's on C9. Blink in from Limp, an aggressive play. Light Strike Array is going to go. No-Tail's on the high ground. Hook shot from Yosef, and they're ready to fight, though. Fatsa, Laguna Blade pushed out. The right click, not enough. Dragon Slave on cooldown. Can't snipe up the last little hit, so Fatsa will head back home. He'll bottle up a bit, but yeah, he's just going to have to walk back home and heal up. And that was almost amazing from an IP.
Nice 4-staff from No-Tail.
Yeah.
Very early pickup for him for the 4-staff. Typically, you see things like mech into, you know, Blink or BKB, but goes with the early 4-staff because he is against the clockwork. And it definitely paid off right there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that you have to go for that in this game. And I'm surprised that more of them don't have 4-staffs. I guess if you're Misery, you probably get a Blink Dagger, although he's not super far away. 1,000 gold. Went for the circlet. He had 3 wards. He'll place one of them up right next to an already existing Observer ward, so that'll most likely get countered. And for now, NiP just kind of sitting back, farming. What does Era have? SNY, full BKB now flying out for Era. And at what point do you fight if you're NiP? Do you have the items to work with? Do you wait for another item for Selena? Or with this BKB, is that when you go for NiP?
Sorry, I'm being entranced Twitch chat. I'm not gonna lie. So people are telling me that like they call it heal.
Heal?
Yeah, exactly.
Heal?
Oh, God.
All right.
Anyway, Yule's LSA combo onto Bone 7.
Oh, the black hole onto Era catches him out. Going to work. Fatsa gonna Requiem as well. Actually uses it. Doesn't really do any damage. Seal gets hit. No-Tail getting bashed up. Where's the help? Bone 7's looking out from the side, saying, I don't know if I want to touch that. Meanwhile, they do get Seal Kit on the backside. Fatsa's starting to go to work. Yules is up. They'll back away. They're gonna get glimpses back on Fatsa. Now the Static Storm going from Hoskin as well. The bashes. Oh, goodbye, Fatsa. Air getting the double kill. Bone 7 is maybe in trouble. Call about to go gets canceled. Finally uses it. Gets the extra armor. Not getting the procs. Meanwhile, they get a Sonic Wave from the backside. Hanskin manning up against EE. 4 dead. The only one who survived. EE is stuck in the trees against Light Strike Array. They lose all 5 heroes. What a fight. Era, the manly man that he is, the BKB. I guess that answers the question that I just asked earlier. They certainly fight, and they win the fight handedly.
Yeah. Bone 7 was just watching Dota. He's just having a good time watching what was going on. And the thing is, like, I don't think he could have really gone in, but he just stood there. Like, it's like, all right, when you are done with that hero, please initiate onto me next. I am available. I am right here. And he just stood there and then just died. Like, he watched him get glimpsed. He's like, it's funny if you could like see his eyes just like go from the left side, like, oh, and then watched him, and then he just, yeah, I don't know. I thought he could have just ran away, but was looking for an opportunity to initiate, couldn't find it obviously, and then, yeah, unfortunately died. Envy as well went into the disruptor, but it didn't pay off. Really nice LSA there by Limp, spotting him out. I believe his Yule was still on cooldown, but found that spot where he blinked into, and it ended up being a huge exchange there for NiP. And the big thing though is it was a decent black hole, but Era got his BKB off before it, so even though it held him in place, he couldn't take any extra magic damage, and that was the biggest thing about that fight.
Yeah. You could just see when Envy made that blink, he's just like, I've made a huge mistake. He just got caught up by the Light Strike. There's nothing you can do in that situation. But with that being said, we will send it over to Pip Muckle. The replay is ready. Pip, what is up, man?
Right, and the issue with Bone 7, actually, this fight, he got Yuled up, he got a full combo of Limp in his face. He was down on like, what was it, like 200 something HP? 116 actually, so, well, that was pretty much the problem here, why he didn't want to go initiate. And when there's an error, with the BKB activated, Battle Trance was actually up twice in the fight. It was so much, you just don't want to go into this guy. And with that, well, the teamfight just got lost, even though it had been quite the fight from Fatsa. Gotta say, he was trying really hard, but the glimpse just caught him off guard, so back to you, Mod.
Yeah, I mean, Fatsa, the Requiem, like you talked about, Trelf, the problem was the BKB was already up for the Troll Warlord, so when Shadow Fiend Requiemed, it didn't do anything. Era was already going to work on the high ground. No-Tail was like, please, somebody get him out. God, help me for the love of God, and he just dies, because he has nothing really to help him other than the mech. He already used the black hole. Meanwhile, speaking of No-Tail, the same thing's going to happen again. Laguna, see you later. Zap right in the face. Limp does get that kill, and they're going to go for the tier 2 tower, and NiP are looking solid now. Meanwhile, mid lane, Yoda Fan blink. Berserker's call, Bone 7 going to work. Bloodmill doing some damage. Jonas and Fan, no procs onto Bone 7. EE
Oh,
gets
nice
blown
hook.
up limp with that huge LSA, and Bone 7 about to fall as well. They'll take 3 kills. They'll take a tier 2 tower bottom, and NiP on the warpath, man.
They're just going ham here in the mid game. And the scariest thing, and actually Roshan respawns, Era blinks in with that very early blink. He's actually closing on his Scotty too, if that's what he wants to get, which I presume will be the next item. But before that, of course, he's going to have this Aegis to work with. It is the second one, so it's not going to be cheese just yet, but really, really good stuff for him. Here's the problem, though, is that SF, yeah, you built a BKB, but this doesn't matter against the Troll Warlord.
Yeah.
I'm worried that, yes, they have the means to keep him in place with the Lion Hex, the Berserker's Call, even the Black Hole, which was actually pretty decent, but their right-click damage is just awful. Quap has no right-click damage. He's got tons of magic damage, and I guess the Sonic Wave is pretty good, because it now is pure, but it's just not enough.
You're absolutely right, because I feel like now NiP are hitting their stride. This is probably when they're about strongest, when they have this BKB and there's no right-click for Cloud9, and there won't be right-click until, you know, Fatsa picks up, say, a Scotty, maybe even more than that. They really can't deal with Era. It's still a 9-second duration BKB. Now with an Aegis, you have to deal with them not only once, but twice as well. And they have to, it really comes down to maybe getting a call or, let's say, a black hole before that BKB gets off. I think that's the best bet that you have for Cloud9 in this situation. And then you could burst him down. But even that's tough order to ask for. So NiP, they're going to jump in. They will Hex. They're going to call as well. This is what I was talking about. But they really just still don't do any damage. Glimpse back. Meanwhile, Misery, they missed the LSA, but the kinetic field, they Laguna that poor Lion.
God. I actually think that Lina can just straight up Laguna Lion and kill him in one hit. I'm not even kidding. The Lion has very little HP, and that's an Ag Scepter 16 Lina. I bet you that he can actually just one-shot him. I really want to see him try.
You're probably not wrong. Yeah, I mean, Misery's going to have a rough game, I think, here on out.
I can't see his HP right now, but...
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it's probably... He only has an Urn, which gives you how much strength? 6th. So that's not much. All right.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Anyway, bottom lane.
Thank you. Monkless is 114 extra.
He actually uses the ult there, just push out the lane a little bit.
Can
they see him in time? They do!
Oh, they got him! They got him! Jonas and fans saw it, but oh, can they get the glimpse? They will get the glimpse. Do they have Static Storm? They do. He does Yules. That might save his life for the time being. His blink is back up and ready to go. Can they get the kill? He is going to blink away. They have Flare, 4 staff Flare. The Urn charge, is it going to be enough to get another and they push out with the cogs? Nice play from Hanskin and Jonas and fan. They had to work for that kill, but they get it regardless.
And yeah, he can't get one shot from the Lina because it's pure. So
the pure damage, 891 health. He needs like another level to survive, I think. And even then, it's not going to be enough. I think it's actually another 2 levels, and he'll survive maybe.
Oh, he actually, yeah, he sold his circlet too, so that he could hold these wards, which might have put him right under the amount.
I also, you've got me hyped for this now.
Yeah, we'll see. Big Daddy No Tail is forcing himself away.
They have vision? No, they don't. They don't see him.
They did have a ward, actually. They had a ward that's...
Oh, no. Oh, No Tail. Mech may save him, but not for long. That was really nice rolling axis from Era to get vision. That was actually impressive.
Yep. And the Aegis is still up for Era, which is insane. He's got actually enough for his Scotty. He has his Scotty on the way. So when his Aegis expires, he's going to replace that item slot with a full friggin' Scotty. Essentially 6-slotted at this point.
Ooh, Berserker's Call. They're going to bring him into the base. Era's like, I can't do much about this. The glimpse back onto Bone 7. Now in trouble. Oh! There's the Laguna Blade. Gets blasted. Era gets graved up, stays alive. He can still work on the tower. He gets used up in the air. T3 is about to fall. Era still alive. 9 HP. He was at 9 HP, and he walks away. Hookshot in from Jonas. Fan pushes Fox out of the cogs. Misery. Now the Yule Scepter is up. Lemp going to find an LSA. Absolutely. Gets Yuled himself. Now Fox Requiem's it up, but doesn't really do much damage. Another Dragon Slave. Another Grave onto Limp. Jonas Fan going in deep. Era still has the Aegis. Pops the BKB before his Aegis is expended. Glimpse back in. Static Storm onto 2. No Tail back into the fray, but out of the frying pan into the fire, as they say. Fox gets away, has the... He's fine. The Urn was on him, but he'll survive. In the end, they take a tier 3 tower. The Aegis goes for Era, but doesn't have the BKB to use afterwards. Still a good fight, all things considered. Tier 3 tower killed, and they lose nobody in the process for NiP with huge graves coming out from that Dazzle.
Yeah, a little bit curious that he popped the BKB at such low HP when he had Aegis, but still, obviously a huge team fight one again for NiP. And like I mentioned, the Scotty has now replaced the Aegis of the Immortal for Era. So, for all intents and purposes, he is 6-slotted. He can upgrade his Helm of the Dominator to a Satanic, and that'll be good. But he is massive right now. He's actually 6k ahead of the net worth of the highest for C9.
The amount of slows / bash potential he has to lock a hero down if he's man fighting them, ridiculous. Maim, Scotty slow, bash from your whatever this is called, Berserker's Rage. There we go.
Oh, this pickup is massive. Disruptor picked up an Ags, which means once they get Glimpse, they can't BKB, they can't use the Yules, they're just dead. Like, they're just, no doubt about it, they're just dead.
He's almost level 16 too. He'll have his level 3 ultimate, which gives you that extra bit of damage as well. That's the absurd thing.
Yeah, sorry, they can BKB out of the Glimpse, but once they get Glimpse back actually into it, then they... Oh, bottom.
Oh my god. And they get the top kill on no-till as well. Bottom lane, Bone 7 going into Aerosonic Wave. Can they get this kill? They've got to throw a lot for him. They have Finger. Gets Yules up in the air. They're rotating bottom. Era is still alive. They missed the Culling Blade. He'll survive for a moment longer. Almost enough time for Hanska to get here. Maybe get a glimpse at a Static Storm. He's got to blink away. Glimpse back in. Did you see that glimpse timing? Oh my god, that was fast. Now, of course, the Static Storm buffed up. They cannot save EE. Misery walks back in, probably to his doom. They're going to lose 4 heroes. Exchange for Era. That is most certainly not worth it. And they get the gem.
He could just blinked away and TP, but yeah, he gives out the gem as well. That's an and one that was really unnecessary. And the Clockwork picks up a full Aghanims now. And top lane Limp putting in some damage onto Bone 7. Couple more auto attacks and he'll get it. He has a blink in 1 or 2 seconds if he wants to really pursue this. He might blink away defensively after getting the kill. Wicked sick for him. He buys a TP. It's on cooldown though. But he's still ring around the rosing in the base of Cloud9.
I'm gonna go through the top lane. I'll exit the bottom lane. Exit through the gift shop. Okay, good work, team. See y'all later.
That's right.
All he has to do. And Cloud9, they're getting styled on. It's 14,000 net worth lead for NiP. Almost 20k in experience for them as well. And despite losing Era, they don't give a damn. They kill 5 heroes. They kill all 5 of them. It's just... Even in the base, they're not safe, it looks like. And Fatsa got manned up on down bottom. That man fight, we talked about no right-click damage for Fatsa, even with Requiem. Doesn't matter if there's a BKB for Era. He's doing really well for himself.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I feel like Manta is actually a little bit better against the Troll than maybe... I mean, I feel like he does need BKB to some extent. But now it's even... Now you have to even question yourself if BKB is good, because there's a pure damage nuke from the Laguna Blade. Now there's an Ag Scepter on Disruptor. You can still get hooked and cogged in. And of course it doesn't do that much against Troll. Maybe Manta would have been better, just so you could confuse the Troll a little bit, and so it makes it harder for him to stun lock you. It still probably wouldn't have mattered, but... Man, this Troll is just beastly. And he's closing in on his Satanic as well, too. For instance, if he had that Satanic in that bottom engagement, I think he kills like all of them there.
Yeah, he just 1v5s them. I think they all die. But he's not far away from that, I guess. He still needs like 1,000 for Reaver, then obviously the... So, Troll Warlord is definitely super farmed. They could wait for Roshan, which is up at 2 minutes, but it looks like they just want to go. They have Aghanim Scepter on Handskin. They're going to go top. Era's going to jump in. He's going to go for the tier 3 tower with his Blink Dagger, but backs away anyways. More TPs coming through from Cloud9. Alright, and... Teams down 20k experience at 35 minutes are 0 and 84 and 6.8.
Could this be the one? Could this be the one?
I mean, it could happen. I don't know though. This is gonna be tough. This is a tough fight for Cloud9 to take. This is a tough game for them to take. Ooh, they saw Big Daddy No-Tail, but he TP's out smartly. And Lip will take down the bottom lane. So now, like we talked about, I think you were right about Manta style. I just think any right-click item would have been fine for Fatsa.
Top. He might blink in on this. It's a chance.
Or he can go for Fatsa? Oh, he's going to go for Fatsa. BKB's going to go. He'll Yules himself. Era, he's still going to go. Bash not going. There he goes. He gets the bash. Laguna Blade on the backside. Limp blows up Big Daddy No-Tail. They'll find EE. Oh, no. Oh! All right, they got him. The whirling axe has come out for Era. He's stuck in the trees.
Yep,
Jeez.
and that was an and one as well for Envy blinking in there. And that stifles his item progression. I think he was really close to, if not had enough gold for the BKB, which I think he really needs. Just because if he gets glimpsed, he's dead. But he won't have that now. And he's probably going to have to buy back here, which means he's going to be down to like, what, 2,000 gold? He actually buys a plate mail, and maybe we'll buy back here too.
They have glyph.
Oh, nope.
They're just not buying back. They just know that the set of racks is gone.
Well, they're gonna have to buy back for this next one anyway,
Yeah.
so that's a little bit curious.
They'll glyph for that racks. They'll glyph for the tier 3 tower top. They have to buy back. I think they're waiting for an hotel to respawn, and then they're gonna both buy back. Yep, that's gonna happen. Bone 7 jumps in. Call goes. Earth spike onto Arrow. Now the black hole onto 3. Sonic wave going. Lip. No, dude. You can't do that.
Oh God.
Oh no, 1 DC. No worries, says Fawcett. Wow. Not intentional. That sucks. That's just the timing is so poor for that pause.
Yeah.
Era's on black hole. No, he's man fighting.
I think he's up in the air. I think he's Yulesed. Oh no, that's the disruptor. Sorry, I couldn't.
Misery unpauses. Lion, Laguna Blade, Fawcett getting blown up. Era is actually winning the fight for them. Despite a 3-man black hole, it doesn't matter. Era is still going to work. They did lose. They're maybe going to lose Hansket as he is right-clicking him down. Hookshot goes in. They blow up Envy, who doesn't have buyback. And they also bought back on, of course, Fata. And they finally call GG. Despite that pause, NiP will take the fight. They will take the racks. And they will take the game. The series ends with a split. 1-1, and kind of an awkward last engagement coming out.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of annoying, like, if you're playing against that and they pause. I've been in that situation before. But to be fair, I don't think it mattered.
No, definitely not.
I mean, we saw the stat, right? 0 and 84, down 20k experience or whatever it was at whatever time. So I don't think it mattered. It was a little bit annoying. But Ninja Pajamas come out in a much bigger way in Game 2 with a... I mean, it's hard to say from the drafting standpoint because you look at C9's draft and it looks just perfect, right? It looks Secret-esque from DAC where they were unstoppable in the group stages. But this Lina pick, despite actually losing the mid lane very handily by Fata, who played very nicely in the mid lane, bounced back nicely. I mentioned that in the 8th or 9th minute. She was just really farming stacks and farming very, very well, flash farming throughout the jungle, and bounced back nicely with a very timely Yules, and then Era, of course, getting huge. It was just very nicely played, better played by Ninjas in Pajamas in Game 2.
Yeah, that was as close as that first game was, and NiP kind of losing in a heartbreaker. They get revenge in game number 2, and Era put in some damn work, and it actually was more so just a team effort, I think, from NiP.
Yeah.
Really solid game coming out for them, and that's it. We're done for the day. Our last match is done. 2 games, 2 very good games, I want to say, and as always here for Dota Pit Season number 3. So, with that being said, we will take a day-long break. We're going to be done for the evening again. Check us out on twitch.tv/DotaPit, twitter.com/DotaPit. There are some giveaways. The Sapphire Technology Steam profile page has some, I believe, Arcana's giveaways, as well as the Gamers Book giveaways, which pretty much they have giveaways every day. Definitely check that out. I think there's a link circling around in Twitch chat, so definitely hit that up. Of course, as always, casting brought to you by the HighGroundTV production team. Big shout out to Pitmuckle, as always, making sure the production runs smoothly, as well as the camera work. Great stuff. Make sure you follow him at Pitmuckle on Twitter. Our stats man, Motpax, giving us the great stats, as always. Check him out at Motpax. You can find Trout over at TroutDota. You can check me out at MotDota as well. And with that being said, guys, let's see. Do we have any games scheduled for tomorrow? Let me check quickly. I have this schedule up here. We do have a game. What do we got? Yes, that's correct. Empire versus Secret at 20 CET.
Ooh,
that is a good game. That is a hell of a good game.
So good, man. Like, Secret, obviously one of the top tier teams in this, or I should say the strongest one in this tournament. But Empire's been looking fantastic, and I don't think we've seen them play together yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. That's an exciting game. You know what? All right, as hyped as I am for Team Empire versus Secret, I'm getting pretty hyped for this next matchup as well. February 28th, we will have a day off, and then March 1st comes around. Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. I'm excited. That'll be a good game.
I'm actually, yeah, that'll be exciting. I'm actually more excited for the Secret one though, just because I think Empire's looked really good, and we haven't seen those two teams play each other at all. So wait, have we seen EG? Did EG play? Well, of course they played at DAC because they had to play everybody. So
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like a group stage game. I don't think they played in the playoffs.
I think you are. Yeah, I think you're correct because they got eliminated by Secret. But they should have. I was told. I actually didn't see that match, but or that series, but I heard that C9 should have lost. Sorry, should have won rather.
I don't think I saw that either.
Oh yeah, there was a thing on YouTube of them like not having TPs and they all walked back.
The TP.
Remember
That was the TP game.
Yeah.
That was the TP game.
Which ironically, this is the first game against NiP. NiP just like let the throne die.
They didn't have TPs that time around. NiP, the curse from Cloud9 is real. Before we head out of here, Trelf, do you have any closing thoughts on the day or Dota Pit in general? Or?
Well, I just think the games were a fantastic day, man. It seems like I don't know what it is about Dota Pit, but the games haven't been really like boring to watch. They've always been nail biters. Like the game 1 was to the wire, back and forth all the time, very even throughout the entire game. So yeah, it's just been really good games to watch.
With that being said, guys, I do want to say I'll be doing Dota 2 Canada Cup tonight if you guys are interested in watching it, twitch.tv/Dota 2 Canada Cup. But other than that, we are done for the day. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Shout outs to all the production guys, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.